I'm sure you've heard everyone saying that Lychguard are great in 10th edition, but why is that? Well, it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today we continue our series of reviewing the new Necron Index cards for 10th edition, and today we're looking at Necron Lychguard, one of my top 3 units of this release. But why are they so good? Well, first of all, we know how good joining Necron characters to units are in the Awakened Dynasty. We get +1 to hit for the whole unit. In many ways, 10th edition Necrons are all about the characters. They're the cheapest they've ever been, and they have the best rules we've ever had. I do believe that things will change over time. It's not always going to be this way in 10th edition for Necrons, but it certainly is at the moment. Now, with the exception of a few dedicated characters like the Skorpekh Lord and the Locust Lord, most of our characters can only join 3 units: Warriors, Immortals, and of course, Lychguard. Sadly, for Trazyn the Infinite, he can only lead Necron Immortals, and well, that puts him way down on the list of good characters. Press like if that makes you sad. Now, of course, Necron Warriors and Immortals are both battle line units, which is very nice. You can take up to 6 of these units. Lychguard are not battle line, so you can only take 3 units max. As a non-battle line Necron unit, the Lychguard are the only other units that can have all of these fantastic character combos, and that automatically promotes them to the top of the list of best units, especially for the points. 190 points for 10 of essentially what is a close combat unit with 2 wounds is pretty good. Of course, Wraiths move faster, they can fly over units and do mortal wounds. We've got Necron Praetorians who can deep strike in. We've got Necron Flayed Ones who can infiltrate. And of course, we've got Skorpekh Destroyers who can be led by a Skorpekh Lord. However, Lychguards can be led by an array of different characters with different character combos. Not only that, but Lychguards can be armed with 2 different weapon options. They can be armed with either War Scythes or Hyperphase Sword and Dispersion Shield, also known as Sword and Board. Now, historically, the Sword and Board has always been the unit of choice because the Dispersion Shield gives us a 4+ invulnerable save. The damage output isn't quite as good on the sword compared to War Scythes, but it's still decent. The Hyperphase Sword has 3 attacks at Weapon Skill 3, Strength 6, -2 and 1 damage. The War Scythes only have 2 attacks, still hitting on 3s, but Strength 8, -3 AP and 2 damage. Not only that, but they're devastating wounds. So any unmodified roll of a 6 to wound inflicts a mortal wound instead of a normal wound. Now, their normal stats, of course, they move 5 inches, they are toughness 5 with a 3+ save, they have 2 wounds, leadership 7 and OC 1. However, the dynamics of Lychguard has changed dramatically with the introduction of these leaders, with the introduction of our cool character combos. Now, the command protocols in the Awakened Dynasty is +1 to hit when led by a character. When the codex drops, we're going to get other command protocols, but for now, this is what we have. So regardless of which character is leading our Lychguard are going to hit on 2s, and that's really nice. From here on, we've got a plethora of Necron characters that can join our Lychguard and give them different abilities. The standout one is probably Oricon, because he can give the unit a 4+ invulnerable save. That means we can take War Scythes and have a 4+ invulnerable save as if we had Dispersion Shield. So better weapons and a 4+ invulnerable save. The great thing about Oricon is he is a cryptech, which means you can have a noble with this unit as well. So you can maybe have it led by an overlord or a lord, primarily with a resurrection orb, because we all know what they do. They allow you to do RP in your opponent's command phase as well as yours. And that, along with the Undying Legion's stratagem and a nearby reanimator, makes this unit very difficult to kill. Murder buckets! Now you are going to want to put a noble with this unit because Lychguard have another special rule. When a noble is attached to the unit, your enemy is -1 to wound. Now whilst a 4+ invulnerable save is really good, it doesn't help you against mortal wounds. So another option could be to swap out Oricon for a Technomancer. That gives you a 5+ feel no pain, effectively an after save, and you get this even against mortal wounds. Murder buckets! So with that in mind, you could take the sword and board version, giving you a 3+ normal save, a 4+ invulnerable save, and a 5+ feel no pain, add in a resurrection orb, and this unit could be really difficult to remove. You could even give an enhancement to one of your characters, the Hyper Ablator, whatever it's called, Hyper Material Ablator, giving the unit stealth, -1 to hit with ranged attacks, plus if over 12 inches then you get a cover save. Now the stealth ability of course is only against ranged attacks, shooting attacks. You could take a Chronomancer with this unit, and that gives you -1 to hit against shooting and in close combat. Now the Chronomancer gives you an extra 5-inch movement after you've shot. Now of course Lychguard don't have any guns, but the Chronomancer himself can shoot, and then you can move an extra 5 inches. Now you can't assault after you do this extra move, however it could be really useful for getting you either behind a piece of terrain or potentially on an objective. There are so many options. Murder buckets? You could even target the unit with a Veil of Darkness, giving you some different tactical options when it comes to movement. I suppose you could even use a Monolith or a Night Scythe, but more on those units in the future. Now, we haven't finished here because we haven't talked about Cryptothralls, also known as Murder Buckets. Murder Buckets! Cryptothralls can join a unit that contain a cryptech. They become part of the unit. Cryptothralls have a 4+ feel no pain. That means, depending on the wounds that are coming in, you can allocate the wounds to the Cryptothralls for a 4+ feel no pain. That's really nice. Now of course, not only that, but when the Cryptothralls die and it comes to reanimation, we can reanimate those Cryptothralls back into the unit. Basically, for 40 points, Cryptothralls are great for any unit that you want to survive that has a cryptech attached. Thank you everyone for watching the video this far. If you did, then why not comment Murder Buckets to let me know you're still here. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Necron videos, then why not subscribe and turn on all notifications by hitting the bell button. As you can see, Lychguard have a lot of tactical options. They're not a one-trick pony, and they can be buffed in many ways. They are our most universal tactical close combat unit. They can take control of the table, they can take control of areas of the board, and also they're survivable. And that is why they are one of the best units of this release. Now I also think that Imatech the Stormlord is another very good unit. Here is a video all about him for you to watch next.